this week's episode of Mad Science. So we wanted to do a super fun science experiment with candy canes. It's the right time of year for candy canes, so we figured why not? So what you will need for this experiment are 3 candy canes. We have the little candy canes, just the little miniature ones. You'll need 3 bowls. They don't have to be glass, but you want something that can stand hot temperatures, okay? So 3 bowls, 3 candy canes. You'll need some water, and you're gonna do 3 different water temperatures. You'll need cold water, some just regular normal room temperature water, and some hot water, okay? So you'll also need a stopwatch or a timer or a clock, something that you can kind of keep track of the time. So if you're going to do this experiment with us, go ahead and gather up your materials and meet us right back here and we'll get started. All right, guys, we're back. So you will need for this experiment, like I said, your 3 bowls or cups, whatever you want to do, your 3 candy canes, and your 3 different types of water. So I have some cold water with ice in it, so it's super cold. I have some really hot water. I just boiled it on the stove because I knew it was gonna sit here for a minute and I didn't want it to not be hot anymore. But you don't have to do boiling hot water. You can just get like the hottest water from your faucet and that will be fine. So I've got some hot water, some cold water, and then this water is just room temperature, which basically means if you kind of stick your finger in there, you can feel that it's wet, but it doesn't feel hot, it doesn't feel cold, it just feels normal. Feels kind of the same as the air, just wet. So you also have this on Seesaw, or you have a paper version. This is our candy cane experiment page. So it tells you what you need up top, and then you're gonna draw a picture of your candy canes so that you can see what they looked like at the beginning. So are they big? Are they small? What colors are they? Just however you think that you can observe these candy canes, because scientists make observations, right? So we're gonna draw a picture of our candy canes to get started. So let's see, my candy canes are white, green, and red. So I'm gonna use some color in my picture. And you know, I think I'm actually gonna trace my candy cane. So I am gonna put my candy cane down on the paper and I'm going to get my pencil or pen and just kind of trace my candy cane just as good as I can. It doesn't have to be perfect.
Can I trace one?
You can do this either on the paper version or you can draw it on the Seesaw version. Whichever way you prefer is totally fine.
Can I draw
I just
mine?
wanted you to have options. Yep, in just a minute. So I traced my candy cane, so I have the size of it, and now I'm just gonna add the stripes. Let's see, I have some green stripes and some red stripes. So I'm gonna take my green marker and make a few green stripes on my candy cane. There's some green stripes on my candy cane. It's not gonna look exactly like my candy cane, but I'll definitely be able to tell what it is.
Yep.
So my candy cane has green stripes. You can see my green stripes that I started. And my candy cane has red stripes. So I'm gonna find my red marker and draw some red stripes in between my green stripes.
And you guys do not have to use Sharpies.
Nope, you don't have to use Sharpies.
You can also use markers.
You could use regular markers. You could even use colored pencils or crayons. I'm using Sharpies just so that I can make sure that you guys can see it really well on the camera. I'm gonna go over my outline just so you guys can see it super well on the camera. So in my picture of my candy canes, I can see exactly what they look like. I can see what size they are. So I know this is what I started with, okay? So once you have what we started with,
Can I draw mine?
the next page is going to be draw a picture of your candy canes in their bowls. So when we put them in the bowls, we'll draw a picture of what we see in each bowl. Hold on. All right, so we're gonna take our first bowl, and you wanna put a candy cane in there? We're gonna put the candy cane in. Should we use hot water, room temperature water, or cold water first? Room temperature, okay. That's good. That's good. You don't have to pour it all in there. Okay, we wanted you guys to be able to see it up close. So we have our room temperature water. We put a candy cane in there and just the room temperature water.
Yeah, and it's already starting to get a little green.
It's already starting to get a little green. So what do you want to do in this one, cold or hot?
Cold.
Okay, so we're gonna do our cold water bowl. You don't have to fill it up all the way. You just want to cover up the candy cane. Good job. And let's throw the ice in there just so we make sure it stays nice and cold. All right. And then our last bowl is going to have our third candy cane and our hot water. Want to pour it together since it's hot?
Yeah.
Okay, let's pour it together. Let's see what happens.
Oh my gosh, it's already starting as we pour.
Okay. So this is where your stopwatch comes in. So I'm just going to use my watch, and we are going to see how long it takes for these to dissolve. All right, so I'm going to click go on my stopwatch. So we'll see how long it takes for each one to dissolve. So now, while you're looking at your candy canes, you can also get your other sheet from your materials, or you can do this part on Seesaw as well. So this is where we're going to draw in each of the boxes what the candy canes start to look like. So I wrote on the top of it, draw a picture of your candy canes in their bowls. Okay? You are going to think about what do you see when you put them in and what happens to them in the water. And there's a little hint to pay attention to the colors. So we are going to see which one of these candy canes dissolves the fastest. So in my hot water bowl, we're going to draw a candy cane. But what does our candy cane look like in our hot water bowl?
White with...
It looks white.
Yeah, basically.
So did it already lose a lot of its color?
Yeah.
Wow.
I think I know why.
So our candy cane in our hot water bowl already lost a lot of its color. So I drew a white candy cane, and then maybe I'll just put a tiny bit of green and a tiny bit of red, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because it lost a lot of its color already.
Like two
Interesting.
stripes and...
It's a very interesting thing that's happening here.
Yeah, like we have never seen candy dissolve that fast.
Yeah. So it doesn't have very many stripes left in the hot water one already. Isn't that interesting?
It's just showing up close. That's what it looks like, guys.
So this is what I drew for my hot water candy cane. If you use just pink and or just red and white candy canes, your water might even change colors. So let's think about now for the cold water. What does that candy cane look like?
Nothing. It's not even dissolving.
It's not really dissolving very quickly.
If you touch it, then some of the color will come off.
So let's draw our cold water candy cane. And
Can I draw
what should we include in our
last
cold
one?
water candy cane?
We should... Yeah.
It has a pretty good amount of green and red, right?
Yeah.
So we're going to put some red stripes on it and some green stripes on it. It'll look pretty similar to the candy cane that we started with still. Good job. Okay, you want some green stripes?
Sure.
There's some green stripes. What do you notice about the color of the water in the cold water candy cane? Has the color of the water changed very much?
No, because it barely.
Not really.
If you touch it, then some of it will come off.
Right.
That's why you don't really want to touch it.
My stopwatch is still going. All right. So this is what Harley drew for our cold water candy cane. It still looks really similar to what it did when we put it in there. And now for our room temperature water candy cane. This is interesting.
Yeah, it has like brown on it.
Yeah, it's like some of the white dissolved off. So let me draw the outline of the candy cane.
One sec, let me get brown.
Okay. So here's the outside of our candy cane. Do you see any green stripes left on it?
No.
I don't either. All I see are like red. I don't think it's brown. It looks kind of pink to me. Did you notice that?
Yeah, but this is kind of like the same color.
Okay. So maybe some brownish pink, some white, and some red stripes. And what do you notice about the color of the water in this one?
That it's green.
It is kind of green. Interesting. So maybe while Harley's doing that, I will come in and put some green around for the water.
I need to make kind of fat ones, because this one had a fat red stripe.
Okay.
And this one's skinny.
So I'm just going to put some green around it,
And
because that's what the water looks like.
I'll do the red. Let me just get the red real quick.
So the water looks kind of green. The cold water one, the water doesn't really look very different yet. What about the hot water one? What do you notice about the water there?
But also the candy cane looks like it's getting like an old grandma.
It does. Kind of looks like it's withering away, right?
Yeah.
And that water looks kind of white almost. Weird. Kind of like a whitish gray. Very interesting. So I'm going to draw some gray around the hot water candy cane.
Now I should draw like very, very light green. Because that one has
Well, I think we can leave that one for right now, maybe in a little while. So the next thing that you're going to do, hold on just a second. The next thing that you're going to do is basically you're just going to hang out and watch your candy canes and see how long it takes for each of them to dissolve. So far, mine have been sitting in there for over 3 minutes. And you can see the hot water one is really skinny. We're not going to move them. You can see that the cold water one is not very skinny, and it's taking a little longer to lose its color. And the room temperature water one, it's getting a little skinnier, and it's losing its color a little bit more. So we will watch these and pay attention to when they dissolve. And on the bottom of your sheet, you'll be able to write down how long it took each one to dissolve. So on the top line, you'll write how long it took the hot water one to dissolve. Did it take 3 minutes and 49 seconds? Did it take 1 minute and 2 seconds? What did it take? In the middle line, you'll write how long it took for the room temperature one to dissolve. And the cold water one goes on the last line. So while you're waiting, think about what you think is going to happen. Make a prediction about what you think will happen with these candy canes. And we will check back and see if you were right. fun doing that candy cane dissolving experiment. We enjoyed watching the candy canes dissolve at our house. Another really cool thing you could do is to see what kind of liquid might dissolve a candy cane faster. You could put one in water, put another one in milk, put one in vinegar, other kinds of liquids, and just see what happens in each kind of liquid and see if that has any effect on how quickly the candy dissolves. So I'd love to hear about it. If you do something different like that, definitely send us a picture or a video in Seesaw so we can see it. I hope you guys had a great time, and we'll see you next time on Mad Science!